And good afternoon. This is the Elliott Wave daily update for the NASDAQ 100 being recorded on Wednesday, October the 22nd at 2:50 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time. Uh, Again, kind of an interesting day, and probably the opening pretty much based on Netflix and their earnings and their misses and all the different things that kind of came out about Netflix drove the stock down very quickly and very strongly, dropping it down over 100 and ended up finishing the day. Let me just tell you, show you, down 125, and it's being quoted even lower as we get ready for the Globex Open and the stocks reopen at the same time, or they'll continue to trade. Now, we had Tesla, and now we're seeing Tesla, which was actually trading about the 436, 37, now trading between 421 and 422. So again, a lot of kind of craziness. So Tesla came out with their earnings today. They missed on earnings per share, but they beat on sales, on what sales estimates were going to be and what actually did come in. So the revenue from sales. And so interesting. Stock, they didn't really try to rally it. Kind of pre the number coming out, they tried to run it back up a buck or so from where it had finished trading in at 4 p.m. Then the earnings came out, and they kind of just started to bring it all the way back down, and then they rose it back up, and then they brought, it's just kind of floating back and forth. As you can see, it was trading 421, now it's 423 bid, so it's kind of free flowing in between some levels there. And so now turning to the NASDAQ, I have now kind of put that minuet B wave into place. Why? Because of this downturn. And because how I got this labeled 1, 2, 3, and this would have been 3, and that would have been 4. Guess what? 4 overlaps wave 1 by a lot. So that got negated. Put the 5, the C, and the B up here, and 1, 2, and it actually is more like 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, and then I could put it together that way. I probably should put that over there, and then this is 1, 2, 1, 2. Oh, excuse me, 1, 2, 1, 2, and then we're into the third. And yep, that's the way I did it. And now I got to do this. Move this over 1. I'm not going to put that next layer in because it's just way too much labeling, and we kind of block out the chart. So, but I did bring it down to the 15-minute chart and took a look inside. And actually, this is 1, and this is, let me see where I got this. Yeah, I did. And actually, then the 3 subdivides very cleanly twice. So I put 2 there, and then I got 1, 2, and then 1, 2, and then 1, 2. It just kind of really kind of goes 3, 4, 5, 3, 4, 5. And so I think that's done there. This fourth wave really would start to press on this first wave if it gets up above 25,202. But then again, I think it's like with the market continuing now to position itself to continue to move lower. We'll see if we can't just pick this up and continue down. Now, this is the preferred count. And so we can see back out to that hourly chart. So on the 15, you can see my labeling down into putting the third there. And this would be the first 5 down for subminuet wave 1. And we got 5 to go total of subminuet levels. So I'm kind of taking my time and getting this all in. Now, I may change that, but that depends on how deep we get within this cycle to say, because this can be subminuet wave 1, subminuet wave 2, coming all the breakdown, and then we're coming down into 4, and I'm going to put subminuet wave 3 down here somewhere, and then we get another subminuet wave 4, subminuet wave 5. But don't forget, what we're looking for is that minuet wave C. So these are sub-subs. So I can go that degree here, here, and then here, and then looking for the 4, and then coming down in the 5, which I think would also have to subdivide. But I'm kind of keeping it here. Now I'm putting up these markers because we should find not resistance, we should find support at these levels. And for the bounces that we're looking for, right? So I thought about coming down here, getting all the way down to that 50% marker. And that this could be 4 and this could be 5. And then I would put wave 1 here, the sub wave 1 here. Then we get another 2 up. And then we come back down into 3. Then we get a 4 and a 5. Because I am looking for it on that minuet level, wave C, to put in then minute wave 4. I am looking for at least that where minuet wave C would be equal to minuet wave A, which is just slightly below that low. And the reason being is because we didn't quite get all the way up to that high. So it's still flat. And that flat comes in at 24,137, 138 down here. And it could go a little bit further to the downside. We could overshoot and come back. That the NASDAQ is kind of pretty famous for doing. So that kind of just sums up this. And by the way, this preferred count continues if we unfold as I believe we should. It fulfills the whole thing about what the algorithm has been telling me after I give it all the information that I'm looking for, answer all these questions, put all this together, and it's still kind of telling me that we likely should meander lower. We should continue to move lower, at least till the end of October, which is actually just a week from Friday, and then possibly even continue to move lower into the beginning of November. Now, what do we have next week, actually? Which they may or they may not come in and give us a nice little present before Halloween in the form of a rate cut. Don't forget, we got the Fed next week. The government is still closed, so I'm not really sure how this is all going to work out, but we're going to find out. Also, just before I came on to record, I read this little tidbit in the news that the president is going to put tariffs on the two largest Russian oil exporting companies. And that's kind of got a bid going up in crude. And it might have a little bit of a negative effect on the markets because it's a tariff. And we don't know what Russia's response is going to be. We already know that they're not like Putin is not going to be forced into coming to a peace agreement between the two countries. So anyway, things are what they are. So I'm not sure what's going to happen there. We also have there's all the geopolitical things going on as well. So we'll see how this all unfolds. Now, I'm keeping it in the preferred. The preferred continues to come down. I think we can get down there, fulfill both of what the algorithm is talking about in terms of the corrective phase. This is the corrective phase. We've been in it since October the 8th. So we've got wave A, now we got wave B, and I'm hoping to get wave C done pretty much as quickly as we got wave A done. So, but maybe into next week. Don't know. Because into next week, we have additional earnings coming out. I believe we have Apple, we have AMAT, we have Google, we have Meta, we have Microsoft. So a lot coming out next week in terms of our larger companies within the NASDAQ. So just now coming in on our opening, and we are continuing to kind of push lower. And we'll see what they want to do here. Okay, now taking a look at the alternate, let me just kind of update that because actually they are still running side by side. And let me show you how. So here again, minute 3, minute 4 would have to go here. And what we're working through are the beginning stages of a minute 5th wave. And that minute 5th wave is likely forming a diagonal. So a diagonal triangle moving up in this fifth wave. So it'd be ABC, subminuet wave 1, ABC, subminuet wave 2, or actually they would be in this degree. Minuet, minuet 1, minuet 2, A of minuet wave 3, B of minuet wave 3, and then we go back up. Now that would suggest we don't come flying back down here, that we start to rally back up and start this C wave of this third of the minuet wave 3. So again, it's minute wave 5 going up. This is the alternate. Minute wave 5 going up. And then we have ABC, minuet wave 1, ABC, minuet wave 2, wave A, right? It's 5, wave A, a B, and then we get a C, and it's going to be a 535. And that would project pretty high. And I could run that fib as such. And I'm not going to leave it there. But we're talking about where the second would be, this C wave up would be equal to the A wave up at 25,758. And then we connect wave 1 to wave 3, and we get a 4, and we connect wave 2 to wave 4. And we will have a definite, if it does what I think it's going to do under the alternate, it would be a diagonal, and it would definitely show. So we wouldn't have any problems if that gets up there and we're connecting there. And then when this comes down, we'd be connecting this way, and it would definitely put in the diagonal, and then we just run to our top. I'm going to take this down because it's not doing it yet, and we'll see how that goes. Now, what else do I need to add? In terms of our moving averages, they're all responding as they should. Let's see what happens here. Let's see what they do here. Again, excuse me. A lot of it is depending on Tesla. And you can see Tesla's just fluctuating again. It was trading at 419. Now it's back up again. So they're just moving in, they're moving out, they're moving in, and they just come in and they just kind of go after the stock, or they sell the stock. So I think the volatility is there. Volatility, by the way, is picking up. And much of today's decline was to the breaks, the gamma breaks that were happening in the Qs. Some did happen in the NQ as well, but the major ones were in the Qs. And when the Qs broke 600, that's when we got this. Let me go down to that 15-minute chart so I can show you this last, like, whoosh. It was a swoosh down. And this one, I think it was. And then it rallied back, and then it came back down again. But it was a very quick move. Let me see. Yep, that was it. A very quick move down. And I think that's when it broke 600. And then it took it back. It got it back, actually. And now starting the afternoon session just below 605. So it's down from where it closed. And so I think we'll see. We're going to have to wait and see. And again, laying out both. Now the C wave either picks up some steam, and we put the 4 there. We start to come down on wave 5. And then I put subminuet wave 1 down there. We rally up again in an ABC, put a wave 2 up there. We come back down in that third. And then a 4, and then a 5. And I'm still looking for this level down here under the preferred, which continues to have that category, or that level that it is preferred. It seems to be following through, and it also follows through in terms of time sequence. The algorithms continue to tell me that we're likely going to correct through end of October into the beginning stages of November, up to maybe November first week, second week, and then I think we kind of decline, and then declining. No, I get that. I got to get that right. I think can decline and then rally from mid-November up to December the 10th. And then I'm looking, that's where it's going to finish. That's where we kind of get up there and we get this minute wave 5, then we get minor wave 5, and then we get intermediate wave 5 and primary wave 3. I think that all can be done by December the 10th or mid-December. So, and then we start to decline in that primary fourth wave to finish out the year. So it could be an interesting year end if the algorithms are correct and the Elliott works the way it's projected. Could be an interesting end of the year. Okay, so that's kind of both sides of this picture right now. And again, I have to continue to run them side by side until likely the preferred does take over and comes down and fulfills its destiny, so to speak, by getting down to this level, putting in that C wave, putting the 4, and then we do a stronger rally. So both are alive still, leaving the preferred in because that's the preferred. All right, that is going to be it. And our next update will be tomorrow morning.